Welcome to 10 TV Plus. I'm your host, meteorologist Dylan Robichaud, alongside Michael Behrens, and we have a jam-packed show. We are 3 days away from the winter solstice.
Yeah, we are coming up on winter. We are coming up on Christmas, and the only time of year people want to see snow in the forecast.
And you know what? We are going to have snow, not on Christmas, but maybe a few days beforehand. So
yeah.
Let's get right into the weather story for today. You'll see that we are tracking some rainfall out there today. You know what? The way I see it, give this another maybe half hour, 45 minutes, and then see you later. It's going to be moving on out of here. As we head into the middle of the afternoon, it's just going to be cloudy. It's going to be dreary, but we're not looking at anything eventful that's really going to put a damper on your evening commute. So that's a good thing. We'll take that. We'll take whatever winds we can get. Cloudy and cold as we head into tonight. It's going to be much colder out there today compared to anything that we felt yesterday. Look at this right here. Middle and upper 30s for pretty much everyone. And if this isn't cold enough for you, just wait until you see what we have coming for the weekend. Today, we're thinking about 39 degrees for the high, and then we drop it on down to the middle and upper 30s as we head into the evening and beyond. Now, take a look at this, okay? Average nighttime low, 27 degrees. Look at Saturday. Look at Sunday, down to just 17 degrees. And I believe we got a little football action going on Saturday night. Have you heard there's a football game? Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about folks out there at the game leaving it. That's going to be in the teens. Bundle up for that. Why so cold? All has to do with this right here. Upper level jet. Yeah, it is going to be pushing on down to the south. With that comes some cold air that's going to be pushing in. And this is going to be with us for the weekend and going into the start of next week as well. Once we get the cold air in play, I want to draw your attention to some brand new model data that we had today. We're going to have a clipper system coming in from southern Canada, and with the cold air at the ground, I think there will be just enough moisture that we could be looking at some snow on Friday. Now, we're going to be looking at some good snowfall, several inches across Wisconsin, northern Michigan. Don't worry, we're not looking at anything like that down here, but we will be looking at some snow showers heading into Friday and then heading into Friday night. That zips on out of here, and then things return to just being plain old dry heading into the weekend. Town by town, again, this is one of the situations that if you're further to the north, I think you stand a better chance of getting some snowfall here. Now, this particular model is showing an inch plus in Columbus. I'm not buying that. I think we get a dusting here in Columbus, but I do think some of these numbers up to the north near Marion and up towards Bucyrus, that's a little bit more believable as you have a bit more elevation and you're further to the north. Now, for the football game on Saturday, you're going to want the mitten warmers. You're going to want scarves, hats, jackets, you name it. When you leave the game, I'm not so worried about the tailgating, but when you leave 23, that doesn't take into account the wind chill. Wind chill, we're probably feeling more like 15 to 18 degrees. But you know what? You're playing football in the middle of December. So we are lucky to be playing football in late December. And in fact, the day that we play football at the Shoe is also the first official day of winter, exactly at 4:21 in the morning. What happens at 4:21? I'll let you know. At that particular time, that is when the sun is at its lowest point in the sky. So it's over what we call the Tropic of Capricorn. That is south of the equator, about 23.5 degrees latitude south. And so what that means is that we have our shortest day of the year, 9 hours and 20 minutes. If you don't like these shorter days, maybe you get a little bit of seasonal affective disorder, don't worry, because as early as Sunday, we start adding on daylight. Look at this right here. By next week, by Christmas, the days are already longer. The sunset will be 4 minutes later. You're not going to notice it at first, but as we head 3 weeks out, by January, you'll notice that change. Sunset now getting closer to 5:30, so you can enjoy that. Long term, next week, after the cold that we have this weekend, get ready. It actually warms up quite a bit. The latest outlook from the Climate Prediction Center shows that things are going to be well above normal as we head into the later half of next week. Chances of a white Christmas, on average, about 23% of the time that happens. This goes all the way back to the 1900s. But I think this year, it's probably 0% as we're going to be looking at some warm air moving into the region. 7-day forecast shows that we are looking at a dry day on Thursday, snow showers on Friday, and then get ready, Buckeye fans, for that kickoff. Just bundle on up on Saturday. It is cold, cold, cold. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, we thaw things out. This is why we're not thinking that we're going to have a white Christmas. It is sunny next Tuesday. Look at that, Michael. 43 is what we're thinking. Yeah, that's what we're thinking. That's why we're thinking that we don't have a good chance of snow this year.
Yeah, I mean, with temperatures like that and the sun in the forecast, it's just going to be hard to keep any of that wintry weather around, and it doesn't look like we're going to get any extra
And anything
either.
that we do get on Friday, obviously, is going to melt.
Yeah, so no chance for white Christmas.
No chance of a white Christmas.
And while, you know, you're not going to notice, again, that lack of snow here for the next couple of days, something that happened that you may not have noticed was an earthquake earlier this week in Lawrence County, Ohio, which is in the southern part of the state near West Virginia and the Kentucky border. The U.S. Geological Survey verified it was a 3.3 magnitude earthquake. Shakes were visible on highway cameras and doorbells, but most people seemed to not understand what was happening at the time.
Well, I was sitting on the couch and I felt like a bomb went off over the top of my house. The whole ground shook, my whole building shook. I ran outside, my neighbors said their houses were shaking.
And there are no reports of damage or injuries from the quake, which is good news. It's crazy to see that here in Ohio. And I got to ask you, Dylan, have you ever experienced one of these earthquakes?
Never. I never have, which is quite unbelievable because I lived on the West Coast for a few years.
Yeah.
Fortunately, though, I've never have had to go through that.
Yeah, and they get some big ones out there. I mean, here in the Midwest, it's a little bit less common, but I have experienced one back when I was in high school, junior high. I think it came out of Missouri. All I remember seeing is like the posters on my wall kind of do a little shake. Didn't know what it was, but the news said it was an earthquake.
We actually have some small fracture lines here, and then we have the New Madrid fault line down to our southwest. So there are fault lines here, but we don't have anything like the major subduction zones that they have on the West Coast, thankfully.
I'll deal with a little earthquake.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
not so bad. And speaking of some things to deal with this time of the year, it is the holiday season. We are counting down the days until Christmas. Like you saw, that white Christmas chance, not really expected, but we are a week away from the holiday nonetheless. And while excitement is high, so are some risks this season, like cooking fires. The National Fire Protection Association says December is the leading month for U.S. home fires, of Christmas Eve and Christmas Day ranking among the top days of the year. Authorities say the leading cause of kitchen fire is unattended cooking, and most of them involve the kitchen stove.
Really make sure you're paying attention to what is in and on top of the stove. Particularly if you're frying or sauteing something on top of the stove, you want to be in the kitchen when that's happening. You want to make sure that you have a lid nearby so that if a small grease fire pops up, you can put that lid on to snuff it out. And of course, you don't want to use water on a grease fire. That can make the situation worse.
Authorities say if you're cooking with children or animals around, create a kid and pet-free zone at least 3 feet around the stove in areas where hot food and drink is being prepared or carried. Sticking with the holidays, if you haven't shipped gifts for your loved ones that are out of town, the day is here where you need to do that. If you want those gifts to arrive on time, today's the deadline for ground shipping with Postal Service. Tomorrow, the final day for 3-day select with UPS. Deadline for FedEx passed yesterday. So you haven't boxed those gifts up yet? You are running out of time this afternoon. And one group that will sadly miss the holiday deadline are the astronauts stranded up in space. They'll have to wait a little bit longer to come home. Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore were hoping to be brought back home in February, but NASA is now delaying that launch until March. The launch will transport a Dragon spacecraft to the International Space Station, which will bring the pair home. They've been stuck up there since June.
New fear unlocked, being stuck in space. No, thank you.
That's one excuse I think everyone's going to take for missing the holiday shopping deadline. If I don't get my shopping done, I'm out of excuses.
Yeah, for sure. For me, it's normally Christmas Eve, too. I'm one of those people, procrastinator.
So what you're saying is you're not done yet.
I'm not done yet. I haven't started yet.
Oof, I started last night, so I'm not much better. Oh, before we let you go today, finally want to check this out. Some weather video from around the world and around the country. First video here is from Vanuatu, where a powerful 7.3 magnitude earthquake, speaking of earthquakes, struck off the coast on Tuesday. Earthquake happened before 1 p.m. at a depth of about 57 kilometers or 35 miles. It was centered off the coast by about 30 miles. A group of 80, Vanuatu, by the way, is a group of 80 islands that are home to just about 330,000 people. It's not clear how much damage was caused as phone lines and websites were still down. Check out that video there of that mechanic shop, though.
At least no tsunamis. That's good.
Yeah, at least no tsunamis that we got reported. And compare that to the relatively non-existent earthquake we had here.
Right. Ooh, look at this video from California.
Yeah, that closer to home. This video from California's Scotts Valley, where the National Weather Service confirmed a tornado went through the area on Saturday afternoon. twister lifted up several cars and caused other damage. According to CNN, 5 people injured there. You don't think of California and the West Coast as being a tornado zone.
A tornado can happen anywhere as long as you have 4 ingredients that kind of come together. And so, yeah, they don't typically happen in California, but if all those ingredients line up, a tornado can theoretically happen anywhere.
Yeah, and some more interesting news out of the storms they've had. San Francisco, first ever tornado warning came this past week.
That's crazy.
That's
wow.
Absolutely wild.
I love all the hunting for all this video that you do. I mean, we're learning in just the last 10 minutes. We learned so much. So thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, the weather world doesn't stop. It's always something interesting happening out there.
Yes, that does it for us here on 10 TV Plus. We have Jerry tonight at 4, 5, and 6. Make sure to tune in.